Hello and welcome to the Art Hitman. I'm Perry and today I'm going to show you how to draw Wonder Woman. Alright, let's begin. I'm going to line at the top of the page. And for Wonder Woman, it's just going to be the top part of her body. So I'm going to put our line and divide the page in half. Start off with an oval shape for her head. Get a pretty good size. And 2 lines for her neck. Make the lines a little closer together because she is a female. It's an important detail. And do an oval for the base of her shoulder line. And I'm going to bring a line out here. And then a line out there. And the reason why I normally measure the head to the shoulder width, but for females their shoulder is not as broad as a man. So we want to make it slightly smaller. We'll have an oval that goes slightly off the page. Now for the oval shape for her body, the upper part of her body, we can take the head and measure it. So I'll go here, take an index finger and thumb, move it down. This is about where you want her chest to go. Mark it and put a line there. Put an oval for her left arm, which is going to go right off the page. Now for her right arm, she's going to be holding her lasso. So you put an oval there. Take the line off the page, but then it's going to be her arm coming back up and her hand is going to be holding the lasso. So you can put in kind of like a triangular shape for her hand. And then her wrist, circle, bring it back down. And we can roughly put in a lasso. So it'll be essentially an oval shape for that as well. And then have a line go across, maybe down like this off the page. Alright, for her eyes, you want to put her where her eyes are going to go. Her nose. And her mouth. And I usually bring in lines like this on either side. This is for what I call the temple line, or where the front of the face meets the side. Alright, so I'm going to switch my pencil out and start to add some detail and some features. So I'll bring her hairline in, down to about here. And that way I'll know where her hair is. So we'll start with her eyes. So put her eyebrows in first. And then with my finger, I'm going to put and measure that right off the middle of my finger. I'm going to come right over to the other side. And I usually put my index finger there just because that's about the width you want between the eyebrows and the eyes. Now because she's a female, you want to make thicker eyelashes, so you're going to define her eyelashes and do the same thing for the other side. And do the same thing with the finger. That way they're the same width apart. Then I'm going to come down beneath like this and go over. And not completely close it just yet. And do the same thing here. Now for her nose, I'm going to just take a line off of the right eyebrow, come down. And stop, angle it just a little bit. And then you're going to have a line that comes over to the center and over. And then you're going to have just a little indication of a nostril here. And then come back up. Now, usually for the iris, right here in the center, I put lines here because that's where you want it to be, so that it's not off-centered or causing it to be cockeyed or anything else. So you want to drop that in. Do the same thing here. That helps center where her iris is, or retina. Now for her lips, you're gonna put 1, 2, 3 ovals here, and then 2 at the bottom. And then off of that, you can just put her top lip in, and then her at the bottom part of her lip. I'm gonna thicken her eyebrows up just a little bit, so you can go back and you can just add a little bit of volume to it. Now, for her hair, I came down a little too low on her forehead, so I'm going to correct that. Move it up higher to about here. And you want to take a curve and go around just like this. Over that, over this eyebrow here. Continue down past that. And bring it all the way down to her shoulder. Because Wonder Woman has very long hair. And then you want to repeat that shape and go on the outside. Come down, go over, and then meet it at the bottom, just like that. Under here, it's going to do the same thing. You kind of go over until it recedes back into her head. Now, on the other side, that bang is going to come down lower, almost covering the entire left eyebrow. Coming over down the contour of her face. Go all the way down to her shoulder, actually, and coming over the top of her chest area. And then putting that outside of that lock in. Come over, down, around like this. And you could lightly rough her hair in, because we'll do what I call a wig a little later on, where you fill the rest of her hair in. And for now, we're just going to do the front locks, 4 locks rather. That's very important. For her chin, you're not going to square the bottom off at all. You're just going to come to a little curve, go back up, and then that's it. Because she's not a man, of course, we have to make her features softer. Bring the hair in like this and under. Do the same thing on this side. No, not too much definition on her neck at all. Now for the outside of her hair, we're going to continue that out just like this, around, and wave it over, and right here, just like this. And we're going to do the same thing for this side. We're going to bring another portion of her hair that comes out like this, go down, out, and swings in like this. And then we have a few more strands that comes in thicker and meets this. And then one that comes off of that swings over this way. And then of course another one that goes off the rest of her shoulder. And a few strands up here. Alright, we just about have what we need for her hair and her head and face. Now we're going to move down to her body, or her upper body. We're going to start with her left shoulder. Her left shoulder is going to come out just like this. We're going to go around. And Wonder Woman is pretty muscular, okay? So don't be afraid to add a little muscle tone. And then bring that arm off the page. Bring a dip in like this. And then we'll bring a line in like this. Now, for her chest area, we're going to use circular shapes. So we're going to come around like this and stop there. Actually to the center line. And then do the same thing here. Actually move this line. And then for the top part, as you see here, we did the oval earlier. So I'm going to bring that in like this. Do the same thing here. And for the top part of her outfit, we'll bring it up like this, down, up, measure it, go over, and bring it down. And do the inside of her left arm, of course. Let that go off the page. And then of course do the rest of her shoulder and her underneath her neck area. Now we're gonna go ahead and do her fist. So here we're gonna do a line like this. We're gonna come down. And this is gonna be for her wrist. Come over. Now we're gonna start with her pinky. Now for a pinky, we came over, down, and around, almost like a box, and then come in, come down like this. And then we're gonna move over one for her knuckle, come up, and do the same thing. 1, 2, this is 3, and then for 4, actually we're gonna raise this index finger here, because usually the index finger is usually a little relaxed like this. You just put a line there. And then for the wrist, I want you to put an oval here, because this is where her bracelet's gonna come in. So you're gonna make an oval shape here, make a line and come down like that, and a line and come down like that. Now her bracelets are pretty plain, so you don't have to do, too much with the bracelet, because they're just silver bracelets. And then come off, bring down like that. And this will be where her rest of her arm goes off the page here. And of course we'll bring the rest of our arm under and up like that. Alright. Now for our lasso, of course I'm going to have to open up this pinky. And then you're going to bring a line around like this. And down. Do the same thing here. And bring that down as well. And to make it look like she has it rolled up in a bunch, you want to add a few lines there. And then bring it out from the back side here. So continue through her hands and around like this. And you put over her arm as well. And do the same thing here. Because with ropes, they tend to go wild, and they don't have to be wrapped perfectly. And usually Wonder Woman, when she has them, they're only wrapped perfectly when she has them on her hip. So we're going to continue these arcs around like this. Alright. Now, so make sure I have this side, bring that over. Now with she has I believe a hawk or eagle that goes on the front part. So we're going to bring a line in like this. We're going to come down. And we're going to come up in the center. Just like that. As dark as you can. Come down again. Up again. And then down. You're going to repeat the same thing here. Go down. And it's going to come into the W. It represents the beginning of her name. Down, up. Actually keep this straight. And then do the same thing. Now, if you've drawn up to this point, you've just drawn Wonder Woman. And I do recognize that I just need to put her headpiece in. Now I'm going to add her headpiece, which is the last detail. And we're going to go right off the center line. And then come down just above her eyebrows there. And it's a simple star shape. If those of you, if you're pretty good with drawing a star, you can go here, here. It's actually been a while since I've drawn a star, so let me do that and go over like that. Yeah. I'm gonna have to straighten mine up. It's a little crooked. And there it is. Alright. So if you've drawn up to this point, you've just completely drawn Wonder Woman. And at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase some lines, clean it up, and make it neat. And that'll complete the drawing.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe by clicking this round button at the bottom. Also, click one of the 2 videos at the top. Please like this video, tell a friend, and share it on Facebook. Thank you.
The Art Hitman.